The desert was silent that night, except for the wind that whispered through the dunes, carrying fragments of memories he wished he could forget. Sheikh Hamdan stood beneath the vast Arabian sky, his heart heavy with the kind of ache only love could leave behind. The stars watched him quietly, their cold shimmer a cruel contrast to the fire burning within his soul. Between the desert winds and his tears, her name still echoed, not as a memory, but as a haunting melody that refused to fade. He had once believed that time could heal everything. That distance could silence the past. But the heart, he discovered, does not obey reason. It remembers the warmth of her voice even in the coldest silence. It hears her laughter in the howl of the storm. The wind that once carried her hair now carries his sorrow. Every grain of sand seems to whisper her name back to him, over and over, until it becomes both comfort and curse. There was a time when they walked this same desert together, two souls bound not by blood or title, but by something greater. Love had found him amidst the golden dunes, far from the noise of the world. She had called him by his name, not his title, and in that moment, he felt something no throne could ever offer, peace. Now, he walks those same sands alone, and every step feels heavier than the last. The silence mocks him, yet he cannot stay away. It's the only place where she still feels near. He still remembers the way she looked at him that final night, eyes filled with tears she tried to hide, her voice trembling as she whispered words he could never forget. Maybe love isn't enough when the world stands against us. He had wanted to stop her, to beg her to stay, but a prince does not beg. So, he let her go, and in doing so, he lost more than love. He lost the part of himself that believed in forever. Now, every poem he writes is drenched in her absence. The world praises his words, calling them masterpieces, unaware that they are nothing more than cries written in elegant disguise. His verses carry the weight of unspoken apologies, the longing of a man who still dreams of her shadow. Between the lines, her name breathes, a ghost the world cannot see, but one he cannot live without. When the wind grows stronger, he sometimes closes his eyes and lets it hit his face. It feels like her touch, soft, fleeting, and cruelly familiar. He hears her laughter in the breeze, faint but real enough to bring tears to his eyes. The desert, once his kingdom of peace, has become a mirror of his grief. Its endless emptiness reflects the hollow space she left behind. He rides his horse across the dunes, not to escape, but to chase the echoes of a voice that time refuses to silence. The palace, with all its gold and grandeur, feels empty without her. He walks through the halls that once carried her laughter, and every corner feels colder now. The portraits, the chandeliers, the velvet, none of it brings warmth. For what is royalty when the heart is poor? They call him a prince, but he feels like a poet cursed to live among ghosts. Her memory has become both his torment and his muse, his wound and his inspiration. Some nights, he takes out her last letter, the one he's read 1,000 times but still cannot bear to finish. Her handwriting trembles across the page, words of love, of sorrow, of goodbye. He traces her name with his fingers, as if he could touch her through the ink. And every time, he whispers to the paper, "You never left. You just changed form." Because in truth, she still lives in his every breath, in the rhythm of his heartbeat, in the verses of every poem he's ever written since. The people see his calmness and call it strength. But what they do not know is that silence is the loudest kind of pain. His eyes carry storms that his lips will never confess. He rides through Dubai's nights, beneath the glowing skyline, yet his soul is still wandering the dunes where he lost her. For him, the city lights are too bright, too noisy, they drown out the voice he still longs to hear. Only in the desert stillness does he find her again, whispering softly through the wind. There are moments when he wonders if she still remembers him, if the same wind that carries her name to him carries his name. He often finds himself returning to the same dune where they once sat watching the sunset together. The sands have shifted, the sky has changed, yet the memory remains unbroken, as vivid as if it happened yesterday. He kneels there, pressing his hand against the ground, as though trying to feel the warmth she once left behind. Sometimes, he speaks aloud to the wind, not caring if anyone hears. I've lived through battles, through loss, through the weight of a kingdom, he says softly, but nothing has tested me like living without you. The wind answers, gentle yet aching, carrying his confession away like a sacred secret between the desert and the stars. At night, when the moon rises over Dubai, he watches its silver light pour across the dunes like liquid memory. The moonlight was once their companion, the witness to their love, the keeper of their laughter. Now, it feels like her spirit lingers in its glow, soft and distant, watching him from beyond. He imagines her standing beneath that same moon somewhere far away, her eyes reflecting the same sadness, her heart whispering the same unspoken words. It's a thought both painful and comforting, that love can stretch across time and distance, surviving even in silence. Her absence has become the teacher he never asked for. It taught him humility, patience, surrender. He learned that not all wounds bleed, some simply ache in places too deep for anyone to see. The world sees his poetry as art, but he knows it is survival, every word written to keep her memory breathing, every verse a way to keep his soul from drowning. The desert winds have become his choir, singing her name in 1,000 tones, sometimes mournful, sometimes kind, but always eternal. There are times he dreams of rewriting fate. In his dreams, she never leaves. They build a life hidden from the eyes of the world, a love untouched by judgment or duty. She still laughs freely, barefoot in the sand, and he watches her with the same wonder he felt the first time he saw her. In that dream, he is not Sheikh Hamdan, he is just a man, deeply and completely in love. But dreams are cruelly kind, they give you what you crave only to take it away when the dawn comes. He wakes with tears on his cheeks, whispering her name as though the morning could bring her back. He has tried to make peace with her absence, but peace does not come easily to a heart that remembers everything. The world expects him to move on, to smile again, to fulfill his royal duties as though love were a fleeting luxury. But how can he move on from something that still breathes within him? Even when surrounded by people, he feels her, in the way the air shifts, in the rhythm of his heartbeat. Love, he's learned, doesn't end when someone walks away. It lingers quietly, ruling you from within, demanding nothing but remembrance. And so he